Well, hello again. Burt Goldman here. They call me the American monk. Some of you wonder why. Well, I've taught probably 100,000 or more people how to meditate, and they kind of tag me with that. But it's more than that. If you've read my Genius Dip, which is about children and how creative they could be, well, we've got a tremendous response from all you parents. Wonderful response. And those of you who go into the Genius Dip and read those responses, you'll see why people are so interested, as they should be. After all, what is the one thing that you want your kids to be? Well, you want them to be intelligent. You want them to be good children also. But intelligence is a major part of that. You want them for a great many things, but imagination, visualization, and creativity are at the base of it. Imagination. Einstein said imagination was the ruler, the king of all his processes. If it wasn't for his great imagination, he couldn't have done the things that he did. Napoleon Bonaparte, said imagination, not his military prowess, made him the emperor of Europe. Imagination, creativity. You know, some time ago, I decided, well, I had better start practicing a little bit more what I was preaching, creativity. And I decided to do something that was so creative that people would be more or less in awe. And I asked the group that I was doing a seminar for, you pick what it is you want me to be creative at. Because if I can be creative at something that you pick, then I can teach you to be creative using the same process. And by extension, teach that same process to children. That's the important thing. That's what the Genius Dip tells us, that children require that little bit of imagination to become creative and geniuses. Well, they chose photography. I'd never been a photographer. I didn't know anything about photography. But I was kind of challenged by myself, competing with myself, you might say, to do something in photography that was totally different. Totally different. And so I thought about it. What could I do with photography that was different? Well, I happened to be in Europe at the time, and this is what I came up with. Now I'm going to have to stand up now because I want to put a picture in front of the camera. And I know it's a little amateurish the way I'm doing this, but you'll get the point when you see what I've done with photography. The first picture that I did was in England. Those of you who have been to England and have seen Harrods will recognize this world-famous structure. Wonderful, wonderful department store. And then I moved on to Ireland and took this picture of Grafton Street, a very famous shopping street. Then on to Paris, where I took what turned out to be my favorite picture. A street in Paris. I call this street scene. You actually want to step into it. Step into the picture. Well, I thought that I had proved something to myself there. I proved to my classes that if you use your imagination correctly, yes, you could indeed have the qualities of genius. But could I use that same imagination to do something else? Well, I thought about that for many, many years. And then after I had retired, temporarily retired, I was 78 years old at the time, and I thought, let me try something that I'd never been able to do. See if my imagination can create something with respect to art. I've never been an artist. My drawings were always stick figure-ish. But I decided, let's see if this process can come up in art. And so I started painting. And here's a few of my paintings. One of my first paintings was that of this little chateau in France. And then I decided to paint the same scene, but this time in the winter. I thought that came out pretty nice. That was interesting. Wow. Is it true? Can anyone be anything that they want? let me try something a little larger, I thought. And so I came up with this. I call it Mystic Lighthouse. Turned into one of my favorite paintings. And the mural you see behind me there, that's on my office wall. I got tired of looking at a bare wall, and I thought I'd prefer the rising sun, or in the evening, the setting sun. You know, over the years, I've taught thousands of adults how to awaken their creativity, but see, this is the problem. That path is like fighting to find a cure. I want to focus on prevention, and prevention starts with kids, with the youngsters. That's why I'm shifting my focus. Teaching parents to help their kids to retain their creativity and keep it into adulthood. Whether it's composing music, developing a business idea, writing, sports, creating a work of art, whatever. That's why I know you're going to love what I've been working on. And this is the reason I'm practically, well, I'm not quite jumping with excitement, but I am excited. The overwhelming response from parents, from you people, has encouraged me to go a little further on a program to help parents to help kids. I plan on releasing it soon. And if you like the Genius Dip, you're going to love this. But I don't want to jump the gun. I want to get some feedback from you first. If I could share some of my best techniques for working with kids, with you, how would you like to get it? Would you like it in a video, DVD, an audio CD, in a book, workbook, a magazine? How? I'd love to hear your comments. So just go ahead and shoot me a short email with your suggestions. I'll get more details to you soon. Just look for my emails. I'll talk to you soon, folks. Thank you for being with me this short time. This is Burt Goldman, signing off. Have a wonderful day, week, month.